Ordinarily on this channel, I make beats without saying a word, but today I want to do something different. Today I want to talk to you about sampling and give you at least 3 reasons on why you should sample. Now for the record, I am a record connoisseur. I personally believe the best music in history was made and recorded on vinyl records, so the majority of my samples come directly from records. But every once in a while, I will use other sources, especially if it's convenient. Now with that said, let me give you one of my reasons for sampling. Inspiration. With sampling, the amount of inspiration that you find could be unlimited. A lot of the times as artists, we're constantly looking for inspiration, but as a producer, not only do you have to look, but you also have to listen. Now this part of the process of sampling can be quick or it could take time depending on what you find. Now once I find that sample that inspires me, I approach it with 1 of 3 different ways. Now the first way is the easiest way because the sample is most recognizable. What you do is you take the sample, loop it, and if you can, build on top of it. The second one, the sample is still recognizable but different. What you do is you take the sample, you chop it up into bigger pieces and rearrange them. And if you can, you build on top or around the rearrangements of the sample. With the third one, you completely destroy the sample by chopping it up and reshaping it into something completely different. To me, this is how you discover the beauty of sampling because we all see, hear, and process things differently. Now lately I've been inspired by listening to this group you may have heard of called Earth, Wind & Fire. And as an example of the second method that I talked about, I sample one of their songs into my mpcx. And I also forgot to mention, as I'm chopping up a sample, I like to rearrange the chops in a rhythmic way as I play them out on the MPC pads. Alright, so I got the sample laid out on the MPC pads. Now, as I stated with the second method, I do want the sample to be recognizable, but what I want to do is rearrange it to where it's different from its original version. Here we go. Okay, so by now you know my bias, but when you listen to vinyl and sample it, it's like eating a home-cooked meal fresh out of the oven. The warmth, the texture is just different. It's because of how the music was created and processed. You see, most of the times when you're listening to vinyl music, you'll hear live musicians playing instruments, mostly being recorded through analog gear. And if you can't beat or duplicate that, then sample it. Another reason why you should sample, and I think this reason should come right behind inspiration, is because the more you grow, sampling forces you to step outside of your musical box and forces you to listen to other genres of music. You see, I grew up listening to hip-hop music, and at the time hip-hop music was one big genre broken up by regions, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, and the South. So I didn't listen to rock and roll and its subgenres. And although I grew up listening to hip-hop music, at the time I wasn't aware that what I was listening to was influenced and rooted by jazz, blues, soul, disco, rock, and reggae. It was through all these eras and genres of music that hip-hop music was formed through sampling. Now that concludes my 3 reasons on why you should sample. By the way, my name is Olu. If you like what you heard and you saw today, hit that subscribe button and follow me on a journey through all things music. I'll be doing interviews, tours, and of course, my music production beat vlog. Until next time.